Hello everyone, myself Preeti Gajjar from VPMP Polytechnic. Today's my subject is computer programming. Unit name is constant, variable and data types, and from that the topic is features and basic structure of C. Objectives: features of C and basic structure of C program. Features of C. The main features of a C language are as follows, and the first one is C is portable. Portable means a C program written on one hardware works on other hardware without modifications or with minor hardware dependent modifications. So it is a very strong feature of a C. Portable means whenever you write any one program in any computer system, and that program which you developed in one system, you can use that same program in other systems. So as if the hardwares are different in minor changes, then also the C program written in one computer system is able to run, or we can execute that program in other systems also. So that's why C is a portable language. C does not contain input-output statements. So C uses the library functions like scanf and printf. C itself does not have a input-output statement. So for that it uses the library functions. To get the value or to read the value from the user, it uses the scanf, and to print the output it uses the printf function. Next is C supports bitwise operators, which normally are not supported by higher level languages but are common in machine or assembly languages. C is not considered as a higher level language but known as a middle level language. This is the main reason that why C is known as a middle level language, because C is supporting the bitwise operator, which is not normally supported in higher level language. So other higher level languages not supported the bitwise operator, which is commonly used in machine or assembly languages, but C supports the bitwise operator, and that's why it is known as a middle level language. C is modular language. Programs in C are written in form of functions. The method of dividing a program into small functions is called modularity. The modularity is essential part of structured programming, hence C is also example of structured programming. In structured programming, we are dividing the task in a different sections or different area of a structure. So in C also we are dividing our logic or task in different functions. So that's why C is a modular language. So these are the basic features of C, that C is portable, C supports bitwise operator, C is modular language, and C uses the library functions scanf and printf. Next is basic structure of C program. In that there are different sections of a structure. In that, first is a documentation section, second is link section, next is definition section, next is global declaration section, next is main function section, which is a two-part, declaration part and executable part, then subprogram section, which is a different functions, which is shown as function 1, 2 up to n, and these are the different user defined functions. Let's see one by one section in detail. First is documentation section. Documentation consists of a set of comment lines like giving the name of the program or any other details you want to display to the programmer. It is written in a documentation section. Next is the header file, or which is also known as a link section. Link section provides instruction to the compiler to link function from the system library. Like when we want to use the printf and scanf functions from the library file, and which is a standard input output header file, right? So when we want to add a header file like stdio.h, then we can write in header file section like has include and in angle bracket stdio.h, which is a file name. Like this we can add other library files. Next is a constant declaration section, and in which definition section defines all symbolic constants like pi. So whenever we want to add any constant, we can add it in this section using has defined. And for example, we want to declare a pi and its value is 3.14, so we can write like this: has defined space pi space 3.14. Next is a global declaration section, and in that there are some variables that are used more than one function. Such variables are called global variable, and that is outside all the functions. This section also declares the entire user-defined functions. Different user-defined functions we can declare over here, and also the variable which is common for all the programs are written in this section, which is known as a global variable. Next is a very much important part of the structure of the programming in C, and it is a main function section. Every C program must have one main function section. This section contains two parts: declaration part and executable part. Declaration part declares all the variables used in the executable parts. That means any number of variables which are used in a program must be declared in this declaration part. These two parts must be appearing between opening and closing braces. When main function starts, it's after the main keyword. There are round brackets of functions, and then curly bracket starts and curly bracket end, and in between these two curly brackets all the logic will be written over there. Next is the sub-program section. This contains all the user-defined functions that are used to perform a specific task. Especially user-defined functions have a specific goal to execute these functions. So all these user-defined functions is written in this section. These user-defined functions are called in the main function. The function is written outside the main function, and whenever we require these functions, we call that function in a main function section. User-defined functions are generally placed just after the main function, although they may appear in any order. So whenever we have more than one user-defined functions, we can write after the main function and in any order. So this is the basic structure, we can say, of a C programming, in which different section having a different specialty to write a C program. Thank you.